Hi, this is Jesse reporting live from the 70s.
This is Mark Amarillo, and we are here to share the importance of the 1970s.
During the 1970s, there were some scandalous events occurring in the White House under our presidents.
Except under Ford. But anyways, our first president of the decade was Republican Richard Nixon. Today he's widely known for the controversial Watergate scandal.
In 1972, burglars were arrested in the Watergate building in D.C. These men were connected to the Nixon re-election campaign.
They were caught attempting to tap phones and steal secret documents inside the building, and guess who covered it up?
Nixon!
Ugh, what a clown. Did he do any good?
In fact, he did. He is credited with opening up relations with Communist China during peace talks in the nation, reducing global tension, and brought forth a period of détente with the USSR.
Nixon also supported moving troops from the controversial war in Vietnam through a policy known as Vietnamization and ended the draft.
One sec. Alright, I'm over Nixon. Who's next?
Oh, Jesse, remember Nixon was threatened with impeachment due to his Watergate scandal. However, before this occurred, he resigned from his presidency, leading to Gerald Ford's presidency.
Well, he was only president for 2 short years, so not much was accomplished under Ford.
But the Vietnam War did end under his presidency.
Well, that's enough with Ford. Let's talk about our final president of the decade, Jimmy Carter.
Carter is a Democrat who is well known for his role of mediating peace talks between Israel and Egypt, known as the Camp David Accords.
These peace talks resulted in Egypt recognizing the legitimacy of Israel and decreasing tensions between the two nations.
However, under Carter, tensions between the U.S. and Iran increased greatly.
Following the Iranian Revolution in 1979, where the U.S.-backed dictator Shah Pahlavi, who was overthrown by Iranian revolutionaries.
This led to the U.S. embassy workers being held hostage for 444 days, with many failed rescue attempts by the Carter administration, damaging the U.S.-Iran relations forever and Carter's presidency.
The harsh economic climate was brought upon by high oil prices due to the OPEC embargo on the U.S., large-scale spending on the Vietnam War, and the social programs of the Great Society. Mark, do you know what I want to talk about?
What?
The economy in the 70s.
Oh geez, that was a wreck.
Yeah, the economy flatlined through stagflation.
This was a period of high unemployment, weak economic growth, and the devaluation of the dollar was a tough time economically for Americans. It was host of a thriving culture.
The 70s was an interesting time in American history to be alive, with a distinct culture of the decade.
It is a time of outrageous new styles in regards to clothing, hair, and home decor.
It is also time of the hippies. It is also the time of the hippies, continuing over from the 60s, and the fun of Woodstock, which is a music festival associated with hippie culture.
Yup, Woodstock was a good time, full of sex, drugs, such as LSD, a hallucinogenic, and weed, which continued on into the 70s.
Besides drugs, the biggest craze of the 1970s was the disco music. It was a large part of youth culture. Kids would head to discotheque, listen and dance to disco music, and partay.
This is perfectly highlighted by the iconic film Saturday Night Fever, made in 1977. Another movie that highlighted the culture of the 70s is Randall Kleiser's Grease, which showed the high school antics of teens of the time.
However, the most influential part of the 70s was its music. Famous bands such as Queen, Jackson 5, Led Zeppelin, ABBA, and the Bee Gees revolutionized music during the 70s.
Songs by these artists and many others were enjoyed by the youth of then and still remain popular in American culture today.
As well as being a time of great music, the 70s witnessed a major technology boom.
The floppy disk revolutionized the portability and storage of information, while portable cassette players made playing music easy on the go.
VCR tapes allowed you to record TV shows, movies, and rent them for the first time through stores like Blockbuster.
Wow, American life was really changed.
Yeah.
During the 70s, the rights of women were increased greatly.
These rights revolved around the controversial Supreme Court decision of Roe v. Wade.
The case went to the Supreme Court when the state of Texas denied a woman the right to abort her child.
That the abortion was legal because a woman's right to privacy is protected by the 4th Amendment, and also, when a fetus is under 12 weeks, it is now protected by the 14th Amendment, making abortion a viable option.
This is just one of the many examples demonstrating the expansion of women's rights in the 70s.
Yeah. Overall, the 70s was an interesting time in American history like no other.
This decade largely shaped American life as we know it today. Without the 70s, America would be a different place.